Okay. Hello, everybody. I think we can, or we should continue with the EF8, EF Core 8 provider for Firebird. And again, a big delay between the previous video and the current one. But yeah, I've been busy with other stuff, other pieces. So yeah, it's what it is. In the meantime, I had a little bit of time last week, basically, while I was at the airport, and I managed to finish the tests that were basically failing. And I don't remember exactly. I would have to see the recording again, but I think I was pretty close. The only problem was that I did not understand what was actually happening with the problem itself. So to give you an overview what I did, because obviously I was not recording that one, I had to implement a few classes. So the first one was create the translation preprocessor factory. Again, a factory that basically creates an instance of this preprocessor. This one is providing something that's called query root processor to process query roots. And in this one, I just override one method, which is should convert to parameter query root, and I'm returning false, which basically means for the a new feature in EF8, which is primitive collections, that means no, this is not supported. So you should not convert to it. The tests, or at least some tests, will still fail. But now the failure is first of all expected, and then the exception will not be confusing. There will still be exceptions. So in case you create a query that would contain a primitive collections, then yeah, you will get an exception. Anyway, I'm thinking about some options I have in Firebird how to do at least some of the primitive collections supported, and even thinking like, is it worth, for example, only integers or something like that. That's, by the way, if you look at the SQL Server implementation that is using the OpenJSON function to pass like a string, and then pass this as a JSON, so you can have a bunch of primitive values and pass it directly into the query. For the integers and other stuff, usually for the contains and other pieces, that's the in, which in Firebird has I think a little bit of less limitations, but still some limitations compared to, for example, the SQL Server. But with that, I think what I would like to do today is kind of like a side quest, but it's still important, at least for the release and for the alpha version that I would like to release today, or I don't know, sometime later. And that's fix the versions. Maybe you know that the versioning that we are using for all the providers, or that I am using for all the providers, is now basically fixed. So now we have version 10 for the provider itself, EF Core provider, and also EF6 provider. And this has been a long time that's been exactly like that. Definitely before the EF Core. And the reason for this was that in EF6, and definitely before EF6, the provider for Entity Framework and provider for like ADO.NET were tightly coupled together. So it was usually expected that this will be released together. In fact, you might remember initially, I don't know whether my memory is correct, but I think the first versions for EF, like the EF1, it was the same-ish code together. There was a little bit of splitting, but it was mostly the same code. I mean, same, not same code, but same assembly. And then it was slightly split more and more. For EF6, it's reasonable to expect it's completely split. For EF Core, definitely you can have a provider for AD.NET and EF completely unrelated. There is nothing that needs to happen inside. And so, yeah, it does not make sense anymore. In fact, I would say it should have been done a couple of years back to have the versions fixed, because it also means that now, for example, if I release the EF8 provider, EF Core 8 provider, I will change the version. That would also mean that I need to change the version of the provider itself, the ADURENT provider, although there's no or very little changes, and also for the EF6, which is 0 changes whatsoever. So my goal is to split the versions, maybe think about versioning in the Git as well, because now we have one tag and it's just a version. So maybe now it will be slightly different. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. That will be probably thinking for the future. And the releases themselves, like, is it going to be released always together, only some files that are related? And then it obviously begs the question, like, hey, if it's completely separated, should it be separated in terms of the repositories or something like that? But I'm getting ahead myself. Let me do and create a basically new file. At least that's where I'm thinking about this one. And I will call it versions.props. And the idea is, I don't know where it was actually created. Can I open this one? Yes. There it is, versions.props. So what I would like to do is take this one. Why is it not syntax highlighting? Let's try again. There it is. And I can remove all of this and all of this and all of this, which, yeah, there's nothing specific. And yeah, I'm talking about the versions now. So there will be a few pieces that are related together. So we are going to need to remove these two, because this is not required in this one. And maybe I can keep it. No, I don't need to. The same will be here in the build props. I need to include this one. So I think we can import project versions.props, which at the moment should give us the exact same behavior as before. It just split. So let me try to build it to see whether something fails or not. Seems to be okay. Let me maybe check the provider. How is it going? Bin debug version 10. Okay, let's delete all of this and let's build it again. Yes, so version 10, awesome. So let me do a quick check if I do version 11, whether it's picking it up correctly. There it is, version 11. Nice. Awesome. So let me put this back and I can close this one. Strictly speaking, it could be different files, but anyway, I will keep it in the directory props. And what we need to do is basically have something like ADURENT provider. Not sure, should it be, maybe not. Provider version. Provider version. This version suffix prefix, I used it for quickly being able to create alpha, beta, and other stuff, but I don't think I needed it at all. Yeah, and Let's do it as a provider because I am going to create different groups for just like a how would I say quality reasons or something like that. EF core, which will be EF core provider version. Again, we can leave the version 10 for now, and we will do the same for EF6. So this will be EF6 and EF6. Awesome. So now what I need to do is start fixing up all the pieces. So this one, right, so probably in here, and I will do EF6 provider version. So that is the first step, I guess. Tests. Do we need version for tests? Probably don't. Or do we? Well, let's think. Well, let's leave it without the version for now. So we will do the same version, the EF core provider version. We could maybe have this one as a default. It's not everywhere. It should be 24. There's a lot of stuff to change, right? And the client itself. Not sure whether it's anyway. I can probably change these dates in the master branch. So let me build it again. And let me open the file explorer again. Bin debug, whatever. What do we have in here? Entity frame fiber tests. What is this going to be? 0, 0, 0. That's probably fine, I guess. It's tests. Anyway, I'm thinking whether there's a value in having the same version in here. So you can cross reference those. But there is also no product name, no copyright. So probably fine. Let me check how this one looks like. Bin, debug, whatever. Details. Yeah, this one, even the product version. Yeah. Okay, I will leave it without. It's tests. So if it's ever needed, we can put it back. So this is the first step. It allows us to have a different versions, right? So now what we need to do is fix these versions and these references. Right. So I was thinking that because if I reference it directly, I don't think there's like a version or something. No. And now if I build it, it will use the latest version in the package. Let me check that. So if I do provider version 11 and I build it, then the package for, how is this 11? That's That's not what I would expect. Let's try again. I'm getting EF6 provider version. That should be okay. Do we have something in here? Nope. Nope. Ah, there it is, version 10. Okay, that was something from before. So let's change it to zip file. Yes, I do want to change it. And if I check the, sorry, I need to extract it. Why not? If I check the new spec file, yes, it tells me the version 11, which, well, now the question is, if I include version 11, then there's no reason to split the versions. I don't know. I mean, if I build a new version, then wait a minute. So if I build new version of EF6 provider, it will use the latest one, but right, that's not right. That's not correct, because I can be fixing something in Entity Framework Firebird, like I don't know, like something in here in SQL generator. Like there is something like missing space or something, and it might be 3 years after it was released, and I would like to still reference the correct version. So no, this is not what I want. So what I need to do is what the hell? What I need to do is have all the references stored in here, which is actually a pretty good thing, because now this is unrelated. Tests can reference it directly. That's probably a good question as well. So now the question is, well, this version, the question is, do I want to have it in versions or not? Probably I do. But then I can have packages, package references. I think it's slightly different than having the how is it called, centralized version management in NuGet. Right. So this one would be for debug. Let's focus on one step at a time. So this is debug. You can leave those hard-coded probably. And if it's not debug, Then we want to reference this one. And the version will be EF6 would be a good name. EF6 reference provider version, for example. Which means that if I go into this one, go to EF6 and say, hey, it will be 10.0.0 something, that should give us different versions. Where is it? There it is. Is that the best approach? I'm not sure. Now the question is, do we want this version to be in the variable or not? Probably not. It's not a huge pain in the ass if you need to change it, and usually you want to change it from multiple no, I don't care about this one. And for the tests, it's referencing it directly, referencing this one. Do I even need to reference this one? Probably not. Why would I? It's a transitive dependency of this one. So if I remove this one and do rebuild, oh no, the tests, this succeeded, it should. Right, because now if I do dependencies, projects, Firebird, and this Firebird client, right? Right. Okay, so I don't need this one. That makes my life a little bit easier. And we have EF6. Nice. So let's do EF core. So we do reference relational. Awesome. And maybe from EF6 I can copy paste this piece of code and copy paste it in here, and it should be EF core reference provider version, or whatever is a good name. I think I can work on the naming later. Awesome. What's in the functional and tests? Right, so this one is not needed. It should be transitive dependency. So that's one solved. Same in here. Well, in this case, the question is these two versions should always align. I mean, this one and this one. And the keyword is should. I'm pretty sure I can use the older relational, but have newer tests. But a question that I was kind of contemplating in my head is, do I want to have this version to be in the versions? So if I need to change it, I just change it on one place. Probably I do. EF6 package. Let's do reference package version, and should be 644. And let's do it in here. Right. Awesome. In the tests, there's nothing. Nice. looking at this, it's also a question whether we should have this, but it's probably something to think about later. Right, let's do the same in here. So EF core reference package version. I don't think that's a super good name, but it will do. It has to do. So functional tests, nice. We have these tests and these tests. So this one and this one is referencing only. That's nice. Nice, nice, nice. So that's solved. So that's EF core. And the provider itself is not referencing anything specific, these guys, but these will probably go away. Just saying, because there is a discussion in the repository on the GitHub that I started actually, whether we should drop the .NET 4.8 support. And if we drop that 4.8, that the .NET standard will go. Well, basically, if I drop .NET 4.8, I will go heavy on dropping like 5 and maybe 6. It's the old LTS. Maybe I will keep that one. But probably these would go because there is no point in keeping .NET 5. That's out of support. .NET Standard 2.1, again, not important, because if you have 6, 7, and 8, you are already covered for 2.1, and 4.8, if it goes, it goes. So that will open kind of like the floodgates of removing versions. But if you have an idea why I should not or why I should, both opinions matter, then find the discussion, because yeah, the .NET 4.8, it's blocking, I don't say blocking, but kind of slowing down an innovation on different pieces of the code base, because yeah, I would have to implement something twice because there might be a better way to do it with like span or whatever, while on .NET Framework it's not available, and then you need to implement it twice and maintain twice the amount of the code. So yeah, it would make sense to me to have that. So let's build this one. It's in the debug. Right. So that's in the debug. I don't care about debug. Let's check the release. Let's remove this one. Let's do this. No, that's not what I want. Let's switch to, yeah, that's actually what I wanted. Or, yeah. And let's build this. So it produced version 10. Okay, let me double check something. Debug. Go back to this one, switch it to debug. Build it, build succeeded. So in the debug, if I double check, let's delete those two. Now it should be referencing version 11 because that's the default version that's there. So let's double check that. And it is awesome. So that's what I would expect. If I go into the release and do the same, it should still reference version 10. Come on. Oh, I need to extract it. There we go. Nice. So it is referencing what it should be referencing. Nice, nice, nice. So that's good. So that seems to be working. Now there is, I think the build needs to be modified. And tests possibly. Is there something that would work on versions? Configuring, there's this one. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, no. Okay. So I think just the build needs to be fixed. There's also a question, I'm using the MS build stuff in here, whether I should switch to .NET build and .NET publish, basically. But I don't know. Let me check something. .NET build. But I can specify properties. Yeah, I can. So, what is TL doing? Interesting. Ah, terminal logger. Awesome. Yeah, makes sense. So I can specify all those. The target. I can do .NET clean, .NET restore. Is there a .NET clean? There is a .NET clean. Right. For configuration, you have switch. This one, awesome. We don't have, obviously, we do have verbosity, right? Yeah, we do have verbosity. And what is M doing, actually? I don't know. What is M? Verbosity, it's minimal. M? Let me check that. MS build switches. Is it to have node reuse or something? I don't know. Huh. It's the number of CPUs value. Oh, so it's using in parallel, and that's the default is 1. That's weird. Right. Anyway. Huh. It's interesting. Where's my command? There it is. Build. Is there something that talks about? Oh yeah, supports both incremental builds. There's. Anyway, that's probably a problem for future me to switch it from the MS build to something else. By the way, if you're looking at this restore, for some reason in GitHub Actions, sometimes the restore fails. I don't know whether it's some rate limiting on NuGet or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was failing. And I found out that if you do it again, it succeeds. So yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, this is what it is. There's a bunch of versions and I'm copying shit into the output directory. Right. So that's going to be broken because the versions are different. But does it matter? It does, because you can definitely have multiple files in the output, multiple versions, bin, debug. Yeah, if I change the version, this one will be there. But I'm also doing clean. What if I do the clean? Oh yeah. source. Nice. Source, different fiber bin, debug. Ah, it removes that. So theoretically, I can just copy whatever version Nupcake I have in there. What if I manually have something in there, like I created it? Let's do 1100 just for the good measure. And this one would be 900 for good measure. Let's do this. Not clean. Oh, in the wrong directory. Clean. Right. Yeah. Nope. It removes only the current version. I was expecting something like that. It takes the. Yeah. Isn't there like a force or all or yep, no. Okay, well, we have provider version, so why not to use that one? Should it be lowercase? So I have everything in here lowercase. So we have a provider version. Now the question is, should it be reading it from the versions? Probably not. There could be some magic happening in there. So let's do this one. Should it be like this? Probably. Looks weird, but whatever. This is going to look super weird. EF6 provider version. What if I do version provider? A little bit easier. Version EF core. Version EF6. Should do it. Version provider. Let me do it full screen. So I have all I need. This doing, or I can have optional suffix. There's an optional suffix and the rest. So this could be like alpha 1, beta 2. That's optional. And why is this in here? Oh, I think that the product version is the product version completely completely what I don't want to have. Product version. Oh, there's this one. Why don't I have a file version? I think the file version. Let's do EF6 provider alpha 1. Let's build it. Bin debug alpha 1. Nice. Extract that one. Whatever. Right. It's not in the version, it's in the product version. Okay, so okay. So I think this one is even unnecessarily complex because it's matching what I actually don't need, right? Because this will be 1, 2, 3. This will be 4. It's optional, it's empty. So I don't need this actually. It can be whatever, and this is purely optional. So yeah. Yes. Okay. Maybe it would make sense to have a simple function for that one. This one. I don't know. Maybe function get file version. Or just get version. And it will be path or something. So then I can do this just in case I need to change it in the future. It should be called file. Right, return. That's about right. I'm not sold on these dashes. Let me quickly check what I have in tests, for example. I do have some tests, EF6, but it's kind of like a separator instead of. Yeah, I'm not writing a PowerShell module or something. I could get a version because why not? Right. So this will be get version, this. And then we can simplify this. So version EF core. Version EF core. In this case, it's going to be this one. So fix this configuration, whatever. DLL, nice. And now I see that the core should be second because we have it as a second. And let's do EF6. And EF6 is this one. It could be even simpler, isn't it? Somehow, maybe, I'm not sure. Do I need it in build even? I don't know. Maybe I do. can I have nested functions in PowerShell? Oh, I can. I definitely can. I have it in here. In this case, let's do function. Let's go versions. And take this one. Put it in here. I know, it's not nice. Let's call this one V, because that's not confusing whatsoever. Clean build, versions, and then we do NuGets. And for this one, we need why do I have the script in here? Oh, because then it would be a local variable, I guess. And why is it not local variable in here? I don't understand the scoping in PowerShell well enough to know what I'm version EF6, right. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Do I need clean? I probably do. Well, let me check that. Configuration release. What? So release not 8. Interesting. Let me check where I made a mistake. So this one, bin, release. Right. Sheet. Yes. Not for 8. That sucks. Yeah, because we... Yeah, I get it. At 8, right. But I didn't like this. That's not what I want. This and the include. Yeah. Right, it's in the tests. I mean, it's broken kind of, right? So this should be net 80, net 80, and EF6 should be like net 48, for example. So that solves this issue for the test. Um, the tests are net 8 as well. Oh, they are. Oh, right. Makes sense. So what I can do is framework version equals net 80, and let's call it a day. So it will be this. In this case, we can remove the include. We do need the check exit code. We do, and then build as well. Right. So, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Build should be fine. The tests, we basically need to replace this with this. This .NET test as well. Awesome. Why is this one in the... Oh, yeah, because of the Firebird embedded. Of course. Yep, that's okay. There's a lot of stuff that we could have like a constant for and other stuff. Anyway, let's try this one. Building, building, building. Nice. So, I guess that's it. Close this one. Let me open this and check. So, yep, versions props, yep. Sure. So this is okay. Okay. Yep. I'm just double checking that I did not forget about something, and I see I did. Right? Include, right? Build. That's probably fine. But I did forget about something. This should be 10. This should not be alpha 1. All right, all right, all right. Let's do it again. Awesome. So we can push this one and see what happens. And with that, oh, the tags as well. Right, so we now have these versions. I guess this is going to be confusing in case somebody wants to download the sources and build it. Oh, actually, no, because it would be correct state of the provider, of all providers. The versions, it's just it's going to be confusing on GitHub, I guess. Oh, come on, net provider. There it is. In the meantime, let's check the actions. Because now if I go into the releases, there is just a version, right? Yeah, now that begs the question, are we going to... Probably not. Because I can create like a EF6-11.0.2 or something like that. But then it's going to be only the EF6 provider in this one. So I will up. I don't even know whether it makes sense to provide NUPCakes in here because you can get the NUPCakes from the NuGet anyway pretty easily. So if I go into the NuGet and I do Firebird for this one, there's like a download package, right? And downloads the NUPCake. So what are others doing? What is EF Core doing? Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Just the source code. Makes sense. Kind of. And the tag is v9 preview. Okay. What is the NPG SQL doing, for example? But they have one. There's only one. Yeah, no source code whatsoever. And the provider itself. Oh, wait, do they have this? Oh, is it a coincidence or not? That the EF and the provider itself has the same version, February 10th, last month. Okay, so it's not the, come on, what's the date? February 17th. I would say it's a coincidence that all latest are exactly the same version. Oh yeah, that's just a coincidence, but a nice coincidence because, yeah, why not? Ah, and yeah, what I was checking, the assets. No, not at all. Why would you, right? It's, let me check some old versions. Yeah, that was just the zip files, but it's from 2015, so I guess it makes sense. At that time, let's do something in here. The MSI, okay, we are no longer providing that one. Yeah. This one still has the MSI, and this one does not have it. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Let's check something else. But again, this is just one provider. Yeah, just the sources you can download. Why would you? You can download it from NuGet directly. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I still kind of like that you can download the NUPCake from here. Because this is kind of the raw package that was produced from the NuGet. You don't know whether it was repackaged or something like that. In the case of some signatures or I don't know. But that looks like a problem for future me. Oh, this one's actually working. Was not expecting that. How is it looking in the... Wait a minute. So yeah, anyway, the tag will be the provider, EF6, EF core, or provider, and the version. That's what it is. Pretty simple stuff. That's solved. I think I can stop uploading this to the NuGet itself, to GitHub. It's kind of wasting the storage, isn't it, as well? Or is it not? I don't know. Anyway, what was I doing, thinking, making? Oh, I know what I would like to check. The workflow. Oh, I did the build and out. Oh, right. Oh, it's a zip file. Okay, that makes sense. Let me put it into downloads or whatever. And let me check what's in there and whether it's correct. Downloads. Yeah, looks about right. So let's delete this one, close this one. That's still running. The functional tests. This should have no effect on the functional tests anyway, because I did not check, did not touch the code. So that's it. I'm still not sure about the releases. Is it going to be confusing or not? So it is going to be like EF6 dash version. And just one Nupcake. It doesn't make much sense to have the Nupcake anyway, because even if you download it, you don't have the dependencies. There might be some dependencies you want to, but you can put it into your local cache, I guess. Right. So you can download it from other stuff. Yeah, no, okay. I will not be providing these Nupcakes. It will be just the release itself. Maybe some release notes, especially as we can generate these automatically now and upload it to NuGet. And that's it. You can see I'm still fighting with myself. It's, I would like to have it in here. I don't know for what reason, but I would. And what if we have multiple releases? Yeah, it will be multiple releases probably. It's not like people are reading those, right? Or downloading it from here. Is there some GitHub downloads statistics? This one? This one? Going to go to, oh no. Wow. A huge number of downloads. Yeah, and I stopped providing the sources. That was something that I stopped in version 10 because you already have the sources on GitHub. So that was waste of time. I'm surprised that 281 people downloaded it. But it's surprising that the provider is being downloaded. And the trend is clear. It's why? If people are extracting it manually, it's always the biggest one. And even the EF6, it's like twice the amount for the EF core. That's weird. Some older ones, the MSI, Nupcake. Let me check that, but I guess 58, 118, 35. Does it match? 58. Oh, of course it does. Huh? Right. It's surprising that the sources were downloaded a number of times and nobody complained in version 10. So I guess that's like robots or something downloading it. Maybe somebody misclicking. Yeah, okay. No Nupcakes for the future because, yeah, world changed and I'm basically wasting storage. It's already on NuGet. You can download it from there. And I guess if you need it, you can get it. There's no value in having it in the release itself, because why would you? Because if you can, let me think this through. If you can download it from here, put it into your local cache and install it from your local cache, you are probably skilled enough to get it from NuGet and do the same stuff. There is no value, no added value downloading from here, except for that the package. This one is the package I built myself. The NuGet itself might be slightly different. Is it? Let me check that. I'm just kind of wondering, oh no, whether it's, no, that's not what I want. But it's being repackaged or something like that. Download package, download it, and download this one as well. It's from GitHub. Let's do this. The file size is slightly different, so it is a different one. What I want to do the compare. Oh, there's a, oh, right, it's signed. Oh, that's actually even, is it? It's actually even better it's signed from the NuGet. Yeah, anyway, I need to put it on NuGet. That's the bottom line. And so there is no point in putting it onto the GitHub because you already have it in NuGet. And that's about it. And you can build it yourself if you need the original package, or you can download it from the artifacts here or something. Yeah. Not uploading it there, it will be even less confusing because it will be just one package. What if you have dependencies? Yada yada. Nope, solved. So that's it for this one. It was pretty quick and the tests are still green. I like to see that. So I will probably release it sometime this week with like Alpha 1 or something. Then we will include the other tests that were like new in EF8, fix those. That's going to be a long time and it's going to be painful as usual. There will be a lot of probably videos and then it will be done. So thanks for watching and see you next time.